All right, welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Coach Morton and friends. We got another coaching panel discussion here today. I'm Coach Morton, head track and field cross country coach at Convo College, host of Real Talk with Coach Morton and friends.
What's going on, everybody? Charles Proctor. I'm the head track coach at Keenan High School here in Columbia, South Carolina.
What's up, everybody? This is Tyree Price, assistant track and field coach here at Bethune-Cookman University in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Well, fellas, we got another nice discussion coming up. We were just having some good discussion. I'm going off the fly on some of this today. I'm not even gonna lie.
Tyree cheated on like two of them.
Yeah.
So let's just put this out there right now.
No cheating.
Well, we're gonna start with you're starting a team, and we're talking about professional, world, not just USA. Mm-hmm. You're starting a team. You can pick one person to begin your team with. Why? Let's do men first, and then do women second.
All right. I'm going with the guy, the talk of the town now, Mr. Norman.
Okay.
So, I mean, he has proven that what he can do on a 4. He's proven what he can do on a 2. He definitely has proven what he can do on relays. And then his most recent 100 meters has solidified him as my startup for right now. Why I can put him on a 4x1, I can put him on a 4x4, I can put him on the mixed 4x1, I can put him on a mixed 4x4. He gives me all of the tangibles for an athlete that is going to win me medals, win me notoriety for what he's done and not saying that we're gonna put him in the 100, but if I need to, I could put him in there, and I guarantee he's gonna be in the finals. If not a medalist.
Okay. We're gonna. I got. Charles, you go first. Go ahead.
I know you're not going to go with anybody but him.
Look, I cannot go against the Swiss Army knife. There's nothing in the sprint realm that he cannot do. Like if you really look, if he wanted to, and if his coach wanted him to, he could be a threat in any 3 races at the Olympic Games.
You talking about Michael Norman?
Say it again.
You're talking about Michael Norman, right?
Michael Norman, yeah. He is known as the Swiss Army knife. I don't even think we call him Michael Norman no more.
So that's your pick.
Yeah, it's. I don't even think it's close.
Oh, it's close.
It's no way. Who you got?
I got Grant Holloway. Because Michael Norman cannot run hurdles. Last time I checked, Swiss Army knife, 60. I know he can run a 100. He runs 6.5 and a 60.
Yes.
Hurdles, long jump. I'm pretty sure he split at nationals 40. He's split 43.
43 something.
I feel like if I wanted him to, if I'm starting my team and he's open to everything, 400 hurdles could be if he wanted to. I wouldn't doubt that he could probably go high jump.
He can. He has jumped like close to 7 feet in high school.
So, when you get done with the 1, the 2, and the 4, which we could do those too, we're gonna move on to the 110 hurdles and the long jump. He could do both relays. I'm starting a team. I want somebody that can give me points. So, that's my pick.
Okay, I'm gonna add a little energy to that now.
All right.
I really love this guy. I really do. I think he is phenomenal of what has accomplished on the collegiate side and everything, and what he's doing now on the pro circuit. Definitely in the hurdles, I think that he can run a very good 100, a good 200. He runs one heck of a leg on the 4x4 and on the 4x1. Now, and he's a great long jumper, but he's not an elite long jumper, and that's why I think that unless you're using that part of the butter knife on the Swiss Army knife, that's where he's going to kind of come a little bit thing. Now, do I doubt his ability? He is a true athlete, and I think he probably could do the high jump too. Again, at the elite level, I don't think so. I think Michael Norman has done everything that he's done at the elite level, and where there is going to be has done that just yet. Can he do it? Possibly, but I'm going by what the numbers say now of where he ranks at in those events. I couldn't give him over Norman.
What did Grant run in the 300? He ran something crazy at Clemson. I don't know why I want to say 33 low.
Yeah, I mean, and the long jump is not that. I might be mistaken here. The long jump is not that good right now. Like,
he's not that far off for being elite. He's not that far.
Yeah, except for at the top, probably the one or two guys at the very top, the foreign guy that like jumped out the pit almost. I forgot his name. You probably got two guys that are jumping like 28 something right now. And after that, I'm not gonna sit here and I don't feel like, that being world class in the long jump with 6'5" speed would be out of the equation for him. That guy was probably going to do the hurdles, then going to do a little bit of sprint work, then going up to the long jump and, just get this run right and just, I'm going to score some points at Convo. I jumped 26 feet and, kept it moving. Like, that speed can't be taught, and that ability to go from event to event. We can't say he don't have potential in it. I mean, he's got a ton of potential. He's not out there jumping 23, 24 feet, he's jumping 26 high.
Brandon, I don't even think you can say potential anymore when you jump 26 high.
Yeah.
And you win NCAAs in the 60 and the 60 hurdles. It's no longer potential. This is a fact.
Yeah. And Michael Norman, right now, Michael Norman is my favorite sprinter. And him and Noah Lyles, those two guys are my favorite sprinters because I just love rangy sprinters that can go 1 through 400. I feel like Noah Lyles can run a 400 if he focused on it. But when we talk about building a team and I need somebody that can go get it for me, I mean, he's shown me in major meets, and I'm talking about Grant Holloway, he's shown me in major meets that he can get it done. And that kid from Kentucky, Daniel, I forget his entire name.
Daniel Roberts.
Yeah. I mean, he was looking magnificent. Like, I thought he was going to win. And for Grant to step up and run the way he did, break the NCAA record with all the races he had on his legs, I mean, it's hard for me to go against that, Michael Norman right now, I think, was it the World Championships? That was it really, I mean, it could have been injury. I don't know what happened. I'm not at liberty even really, I don't know. But he did, he hadn't shown me, he showed me that he could win the NCAA championship, but when you do it in record fashion, the way Grant did it, I mean, that to me, the versatility speaks for itself. I don't think you can, if we're going head to head, I'm going to take Grant Holloway on my team.
Now, Grant did do the high jump, even when he was in high school and stuff. He did 2.13 meters in the high jump.
I mean, I was a high jumper. He jumped. I'm pretty sure he was just doing that, like just, I'm gonna go over here and clear a bar, and that's just talent. I can't say that that's an athlete. Michael Norman, those guys are sprinters. Grant Holloway is a throwback athlete. I love those. I mean,
and he ran 32.80 in that 300 indoor.
I was with you until you just blew our whole thing up, Tyree. You just handed it to Brandon just now.
You gotta look at what did Michael run a 300 indoor?
It don't matter. What that 32 is showing us that the boy can run. The boy can definitely run a hell of a 200 off of that.
I agree.
We already seen what he's done in the 4, running those crazy 4x4 splits with Florida. And matter of fact, to go back on it, Brandon, shame on you for betting against the Gators in that race. I cannot believe you bet against Grant Holloway.
Well, I mean, if you watch that race, the kid from Kentucky is closing and he keeps hitting hurdles. And, you know, I don't know. I mean, he ran 13 flat, like hitting hurdles. Yeah. So, you know, what does he do if he has a clean race, you know? But I think Grant put the pressure on him from the get-go, and, you know, that's what makes him Grant Holloway. You know, I don't feel like – I just think he's a real throwback, in my opinion, to one of those, you know, old school just athletes. Not even a sprinter, not a jumper, not a hurler. He's just an athlete. And, you know, to be honest, if I'm recruiting, and you guys cannot tell me, but if you go out and recruit and you see a guy that runs the 1 to the 4, and you're like, oh, snap, you know, that kid is fast. You know, let's say he runs 10-1, 10-5, 21-2, and 46-9. But then you go see another kid that runs 10-7, 21-6, 48, but he goes in long jumps 24 feet, and then he goes in high jump 6'10", then he splits, you know, 46 on the 4x4, and he blows everybody in the 4x4. You're going to be looking like, okay, that's the kid that I want.
Right.
So that's how I see it.
Okay.
Yeah. But on the women's side, can't leave the ladies out.
Yeah. This was kind of difficult for me, but I was really debating 2 people, but I'm gonna go with Sydney because of her range, 11.0, 22.50, you know, and the hurdles. I mean, she can 13 low she's the whole gamut of everything, you know. So, you know, from the 1 all the way to the 4, you got the 100 hurdles, 400 hurdles. You know, she could long jump. She's not the greatest long jumper, but, you know, not putting anything towards it, but she didn't have to. But she could be on your 4x1, 4x2, 4x4. Hey, point blank. She's it. She's probably a little bit more than a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
Okay, that was nice. You gave it to the young gun, but how dare you be so disrespectful to the great Allison Felix? You rattled off a little bit of numbers, so here are some numbers. 1089 in the 100, 2169 in the 2, 49.26 in the 4, a member of the world record 4x1, and she has been a staple on every championship 4x4, probably in the last 10 years, if not more. There has not been someone this dominant over all 3 races.
But she was now, if you start your team today, Allison Felix is about out the door.
Allison Felix is still going to give you 21 mid and 40. She might go 48. She might not be able to hit that 10.8 no more. All right, cool. She might know. Matter of fact, she hit that 10.8 the same year they broke the world record in the 4x1.
Okay.
But I know I'm going to get 2-4, 4x1, 4x4 at an extremely elite level. I'm starting it with the older statesman here.
Yeah, I don't think that's a smart move. I think
11.07, 22.39, 50.07, 1334, 5223.
You only getting, okay, we had a track meet. You're only getting 4 events out of her. So what? You're only getting 4. And she's dominant in 1.
That's a good point.
You're only going to get 4, and she's only dominant in 1. We're trying to win a track. We're trying to win a track meet here, not an individual championship. We're trying to win a national championship here.
I think she's proven that at Kentucky that she can do more than one event at a track meet.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't say she can't. What I'm saying right now, she's only elite at 1. It's only one where you're gonna be like, you know what? She could win this. It's only between her and one other. It's only one event that you're gonna say that.
Man, I like. Oh man, Tyree, that was good. Tyree, I'm gonna give you that one. I'm gonna give you that one.
Hey, the other thing is you're starting a team, right? We're talking about starting a team. The youth aspect of her means that we're starting a team, and this is going to go for years on. How many years am I going to get out of her, and how much more does she have left to get even better in her event areas?
Mm-hmm. That wasn't that you didn't
starting
preface this whole conversation with that. The only thing was you're gonna start a team, you want to win a championship. Who are you picking? I'm picking the woman that can be elite in 2 events and can change both of my relays.
I know I agree with you on that, but I want to win multiple championships.
That wasn't the question, Tyree. That wasn't. Now you twisted the question. That wasn't the question.
Listen. My pick is going to be a bit hypocritical based on what I just gave you on the men's side, but I don't give a damn. I'm still going to say it. I got to go with Sha'Carri Richardson, man. I know she ain't did number 1 100-meter title, but when I look at just the it factor, like the no fear, racing with a chip on my shoulder, and I need a victory. That girl, man, I've seen her on Twitter and just, watched her tweet. She's got a fire inside her, man, that I just like it. I like for my female athletes, I'm at all girls school. I love for my female athletes to not be nice. And I'm gonna be completely honest. I need them to have a little bit of fire in them. And she got all the fire and some. Like
female version of Mo Green.
She's a female version of Mo Green.
All that. Now, I love it.
It's hypocritical because if we go to a meet and we go against Tyree and Sydney McLaughlin, she's gonna score more points.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like I guess that's my shout out there. I'm a ride with Sha'Carri because she's one of the type of females that, man, when that girl wins, you're gonna probably be shedding tears with her just because you know where she's coming from and you know her attitude and probably the work she's putting in and
Now you just said on the men's side, you're looking for the athlete. And now you flipped it that the person who's not a full all-around athlete is not in the equation.
Yeah, you got a point. I mean, I'm not gonna change my pick. I ain't gonna do that because she can still do on an elite level. I feel like she can hop on that 4x1. She can run the 1. She can run the 2. And honestly, if tasked with it, I think she could probably run a good 4x4. Give you some in the 4x4. Now
we speculate. Now we talking.
Yeah, let me take that back.
Come on.
I'll take that back. I'm just hoping. 4x1, 1 and 2. That's just a good, that's a good start for me with a team. She's gonna give me 3 events. May not be as many as Sydney, but I don't think Sydney is. She's not in like her mark with her marks in the long jump. Make it to the NCAA final.
No.
I can't really.
But
she might win the state meet.
Her marks can put her on a 4x1. Her marks can put her on a 4x2. Her marks can put her on 4x4. Her marks will
4x2 is not a real event.
Her marks will give her a definite a medal in the 400 hurdles.
400 hurdles,
and she has an opportunity to also medal in the 4. It comes down to it. So, Sha'Carri
she got an
has
opportunity to medal in the 4.
Huh?
She got an opportunity to medal in the 4. You think?
Yeah. The Lila is the Muhammad is the number 1.
400 hurdler.
400 hurdler.
Yeah, I said 400 hurdles.
Oh, I thought you said open 400.
No, I said she has a chance. Yeah. No, she has a possible chance of medaling in the 4.
We just see now you going on the same thing Brandon was on.
Yeah, you doing what I just did.
50.0.
That ain't
These girls going for it. She's not medaling at 50.0.
There's a possibility.
Not no more. Not no more.
See that. I mean, Delilah Muhammad is already in front of her. You get the little girl that's running 48 low, and damn near any other 1 or 2 400-meter runners from the U.S. and she ain't on the medal stand. Now she's a hell of a 400-meter runner, but I ain't betting my money on her in the 4.
So I'm asking you a question. Well, Sha'Carri, she's a medalist in the 200?
No.
And talking about NCAA? No.
No, we're talking about pro.
Pro.
I mean, she ain't ran no. she just got out of college.
Come on, Brandon. Come on, man.
I'm telling you something. 10-7 lets me know what I need to know. She can medal in the 200. She can medal in the 200. The speed is there. Now it's up to her if she wants to do training, but the speed is there to medal in. I ain't like she running 11 flat. We talking about 10-7. She faster than me.
We going off of what? We just going off of PR. She's not beating the young lady from England, Great Britain. She's not beating Shelly Ann.
In what, the 200?
Yes. She ain't beating Allison in the 2.
She hadn't run
y'all
the
just
time to
got
beat
on me for Allison being old.
She ain't run the time to beat them yet. Do I think she has the potential to run those times? She ran 10-7. That's all I need. I mean, y'all know what that means, don't you?
Yeah, potential to do something in the 2.
Well, you're right. There's only potential, but I mean, that's all we can talk about until they do it. Not Allison. Granted, I'll give you Allison. Allison is the best sprinter out of all 3 of those sprinters. She's the best, but she only has what, one year, 1 or 2 years left.
You got one more cycle, so since everything messed up, I'll give her the Olympics and the World Championships and probably be done.
Yeah, your team gonna be short-lived.
I'll recruit. Y'all college coaches. I'll recruit.
Okay. Well, like I said, I will ride with Sha'Carri, and like I said, I know that's a bit hypocritical, and it's a shortage of events, but man, that girl, I think when we talk about bringing notoriety to the sport, I think she's gonna be a star. I mean, all these young ladies are gonna be stars that we talk about. Sydney is too, but I just think she just got something. She's got something about her. I think she's got the ability to change the persona of the female sprinter. And when I say that, I don't remember the last time I saw a female sprinter that act like Maurice Green. Like every female sprinter, all the way back to, I'm gonna say her name, Marion Jones. Jet a little bit. And like I said, Jet was, I think she didn't win enough on the Olympic level to be able to do that. I think Sha'Carri with Shelly Ann kind of phasing out, getting ready to probably, retire pretty soon. I think Sha'Carri, if she's the face of women's sprint, she's gonna, I won't be surprised if I come to the state meet and I see young ladies with a different kind of swagger if they're looking at her, And so I think that's big time. I think, like I said, that's not going to win me any meets, but I feel comfortable betting my money on her in a race.
No. All right.
All right. Well, next topic. Did y'all have anything else y'all wanted to add to that?
Yeah.
Okay. Next topic. Best program, NCAA program in the last 10 years. We will go men first, women, and then the women next.
Look here. I know Price gonna have something crazy to say when we go. But it's really no debate. There is not a program that has done better than Mike Holloway's Florida Gators. Y'all, listen to these numbers. And so we're starting in 2010 because it's a 10-year span.
Mm-hmm.
2010, indoor champions, outdoor runner-up. 2011, indoor champions. 2012, indoor and outdoor champions. 13, indoor runner-up, outdoor champions. 2014, outdoor runner-up. 2015, indoor and outdoor runner-up. 2016, outdoor champions. 2017, indoor runner-up, outdoor champions. 2018, indoor champions, outdoor runner-up. 2019, indoor champions, outdoor runner-up. In a 10-year span, that's 9 titles just on the men's side. And that's 9 runner-ups. With countless, we ain't even talking about the conference titles. We're just talking national titles. That's 5 indoors championships, 4 outdoors, and a few NCAA national records to go along with that. But we're not even, and so we're not even going to talk about the records or the countless NCAA champions, individual and relays that he has had over the last 10 years. Tyree, unless you're going to put 2 programs together, it is nobody else, none of the accomplishments equate to this. Y'all, this is 9 titles and 9 runner-ups in 10 years. If that's not dominant, I don't know what is. Shout out to Mike Holloway and the Gators for beating the hell out of people these last 10 years. That's basically what it's been. Mike put his foot on their neck and he has not let off yet. I love it. All right, Tyree, what you got for the men? You gonna say
I'm gonna let Brandon go first.
Oh, look, y'all, he gonna start looking down. He gonna be on his phone, start scrolling for some results.
I'll men's side. I'm a second that Mike Holloway in Florida. I got 4 outdoor, 5 indoor. It's pretty simple. I don't think that's a hard question to answer. They just been whipping you know what and been consistent, from 2010 to 2020. I mean, I don't know what else I can say. That's kind of self-explanatory. I'm gonna say Florida Gators on the men's side, both indoor and outdoor.
That's 2-1, Tyree.
Yeah, Tyree, I know you said you had something, so go ahead.
I agree. I looked at it. I looked at it from all aspects of program, and when I look at indoor and outdoor, I look at University of Florida Coach Holloway's put one impressive thing together for his championships and everything. And I'm not taking anything away from him and the University of Florida in that aspect, but I do have to chime in with, I think if you look at overall program that has accomplished a lot, and that's everything, the encompasses thing, you have to give recognition to the University of Oregon, who also indoor and outdoor has won at least 6 of those championships between indoor and outdoor. But then also what they've done on the cross country side of where they're placing, if you're looking at an overall program, then you have to look at the program on the sides of the distance program and cross country, which we're all coaching cross country track and field. So the program encompasses that. So I haven't seen the University of Florida do pretty prominent in the top 10, top 15 at cross country championships as Oregon has been. So overall program, I would say, track. If I did track and field, there's nothing I can say against the University of Florida. But when I look at overall program, cross country, track and field, then Oregon has the slight bump on that.
You cheated, but okay.
That's a good point. I mean,
it's too often, when you get track and field coaches on here, they look at it from just the indoor outdoor track and field.
Right.
We're still encompassed. The cross country is part of, you're the director of cross country track and field. So that's the program itself.
I'm going to give you that. Because I didn't specify track and field, but I'm a huge cross country I'm a huge cross country fan. So when we say program, it's 3 sports. And I think we understand that. Yeah, you're right there. There's nothing I can say. That was you pulled a slick one on us. I think it's simple as, like you said, the team with the most titles is being, run the best. Like I said, Oregon's got, I don't know how many cross-country titles they've got. Did you see that number?
No, well, they didn't do as far as the winning the championships during that time. But they were in Oregon.
2.
But
in the last 10 years, 2.
But they've always been, because you mentioned runner-ups and stuff like that. So they've always been in the top 5 at the cross country. They've been in that hunt of a cross country championship. I don't remember, and not just like University of Florida, but I remember University of Florida being in the top 10, top 15.
See, now you go in the top 5. I ain't named the times they came in.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, if we're looking at overall program, you have to look at program, and even with track and field, it comes down to are you masking everything from the 1 all the way up to the 10,000?
Now I'm looking at I'm looking at the men's cross country championships, and Oregon 2010-2020 did not finish runner up at all on the men's side. I'll check the women. Well, we ain't talked about women yet. We just talking about women. So your argument is skewed, Tyree.
No, you said overall program. Are they a top 10 program in cross country?
No. The question was the most dominant program in the last 10 years. You over there talking about some top 5 finishes.
Overall, if you add in the parts of cross country in there, that skews whatever some of what Florida does on that side of things, because they're in the top 10 of programs.
But still, if we talking championships, it still don't matter.
Right.
Because I'd rather have.
It was not championships.
You got to ask yourself, which one would you rather have? Would you rather have 9 track and field titles and no cross country titles, or would you rather have top 10 finishes in cross country and 5 track and field national titles?
Give me the 9.
Give me the 9. I'm just saying.
The question is not titles, it's program. No, overall program.
No.
And I don't. Again, I don't slight the University of Florida. The way they're set up is to pretty much right now. I mean, I'm not saying that they're not trying to do some stuff in the distance and stuff like that. But right now they're set up towards they're real dominant in their field events and their sprint hurdle areas, and that's a big plus for them and everything. I think Oregon has proven that they have some sprint dominance, they have some jump dominance, they have some throws, and they have some distance dominance. And they have an overall, you say program, so they have a whole gambit of all of the entities that encompass even on the track and field.
Okay.
Which
well, I'm taking Florida.
Right.
Yes, 2-1.
Yeah.
Women. We ready for the women?
Yep.
Go ahead.
All right. Now this was. I don't know how close me and Tyree gonna be on this, and I got a feeling he did a little more research than me because mine was on the fly. I'm going with Oregon women. Now, with the Oregon women, they have 7 indoor titles, 2 outdoor titles, and since you brought up cross country, in the last 10 years, they've had 2 cross country titles. Women's indoor was 2010, 11, 12, 13, oh my God, 14, 16, 17. Outdoors was 15, 17. This is not even showing the amount of runner-ups that they had outdoors.
Right.
And then cross country, they won in 12 and 16. So for a 10 years, I mean, that's 11 titles.
Yeah.
In a 10-year span. I love Arkansas. I love what Texas A&M was doing for a while when they went that three-peat. But if we just going on total program and we're going on championships, they've shown dominance on every aspect of the team. Sprint, hurdle, jump, distance. Don't know too much about the throws. Javelin, so javelin throws. Oregon women have been very dominant over this 10-year span.
I hate when I agree with that. Really, what? Yeah, I mean, you talk about, like you said, I went back and looked at cross country. Oregon's got 2 in cross country, 2 outdoor, 7 indoor over the last 10 years. I mean,
Say what?
They got 7 indoor titles over the last 10 years. I mean,
Brandon, they went 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I guarantee you, if we can look it up, they were probably runner-ups in 15, 16. That is ridiculous. I don't know if we've seen that in the last 20 years.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I can't think of anybody. I'm looking at it right now. They were runner-up in 2015.
Look,
Arkansas won, and they were runner-up.
That's crazy.
Dominance. That's dominance. Yeah, I concur. I go with Oregon on that one. What about you, Tyree?
I give Oregon a lot of things, but I gotta give a shout out to Arkansas.
So are you saying Arkansas?
Yeah. They won 1 cross country championship and 2 indoor and 2 outdoor, with 2 second places in the outdoor as well. But their consistency throughout placements in the top 5 at the national championships, both indoor and outdoor, have been way up there. I agree with you, but I got to give props to Arkansas.
Yeah, they've done 5. So we're talking about cross country, indoor and outdoor over the last 10 years. 1 cross country, 2 outdoor, 2 indoor. Obviously a balanced program. But
Tyree, you don't have to give them props.
You really don't. Like, not when there's somebody better.
We going on. Look, this is a competition.
Oregon's got more indoor titles than Arkansas has titles over the last 10 years. And they got 2 they got more cross country titles. Oregon got 2, Arkansas got 1. They got the same amount of outdoor titles. And then Oregon just got 5 more indoor titles than they got, 7-2 indoor titles. So Arkansas is good. Arkansas's got a rich history with John McDonald and those Triple Crowns, but
not
man, the last 10 years.
That's the men's side.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying they have but on the women's side, I mean, I got to go with Oregon.
I can't believe you did that, Tyree. I can't believe you did that. He just did not want to agree. That's all. He just refused to agree with the rest of us. It's okay. All right.
It's a debate. So I just can't. You know, these are numbers, so I can't really go against it. You know, it is what it is. Anything else y'all want to add to that?
No.
On to the next topic.
No.
On to the next topic. Tyree just wanted to disagree with us on that one. But we're going to go to this isn't necessarily an agreement or disagreement. What athletes do you feel like you got it done right with? Like you got the most out of them, and why? What happened to make that that athlete perform at their best? If you got more than one, you can
I got more than one. I think I got it right with we had well, I'm gonna use a triple jumper first. On the men's side, I got it right with Michael Tiller. He had Bethune-Cookman. He came in. He was a walk-on, 47-foot triple jumper. And when he got on campus, I had about 3. That was my first year here too. So his freshman year was my first year here, and looking at everything, going through what we were doing in the workouts and everything, he was just like, he was my number 4 guy. And I told him at a track meet of going into track meets, like, listen, you're my number 4. I only traveled 3. And so, we got to step up. And then we had the opportunity to go to University of Florida when they had an indoor track, and took him, that was the second meet of the season. And then he jumped 50 foot and kept on going. I mean, the whole series never got lower than 50 foot. And he moved from 4 to number 1. And then he kept going. His mentality was there. Everything was about getting right, getting it, coming in, working at it, learning the phases and working those things in. It was trial and error. We tried different things, things that was in my head, putting something together to work on scientific parts of things, but then also just listening to him and his body. Now he didn't really say too much until his senior year. He just went with everything we did and just applying, but his mentality, I guess he took it kind of how I think, is like, my mentality is always, I'm the best, I'm just that good. So he really bought into that concept, and never, his freshman year was the only time he lost in the competition in our conference. And from after that, he dominated the triple jump throughout, went on to regionals, jumped 53.3. So you went from a 47 to a 53, and then went to the USA Championships, came in 6 overall his last year. But he really bought in, and the training, I had to make some things up to go with him, even how I did stuff with weight vests with him. And he was my experimentation on some things, but he adapted so well, and then other people adapted with that as well. So, but he really was the embodiment of what I did with the triple jump. And then I think going into regional, right before we're going into regionals that year, when he jumped at 53, he was, I guess he uses the same concept that I do. I do a lot of thinking on things. So he was like, Coach, I was just thinking, looking at over the course of the meets, I seem to get better as we go more and more into the competition. So what do you think of if? And he said, I thought about this, and I just wanted to make sure if I'm thinking this right. It's like, what if I, in the competition or in the warm-up stuff, go ahead and do a few full jumps. And so then when I get in the competition, I'm ready to go. I was like, I started thinking back on all the meets, and it's like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's do that. And then watching him do what he did in the thing, and I'm sitting up in the stands and with Coach Cooper, and he does one thing. I was like, uh-oh, today's going to be a good day. And he went out there and executed. And so I think he's the one of embodiment of progression from 47, 6 foot improvement.
What do you think was the, what was his major where did that major improvement come from? Was there one particular area that you can say he improved?
Really and truly, he executed on everything we did. When we wanted to work on getting most out of the first phase, we got most out of that first phase. When we worked everything, he applied himself to everything we tried to do. How we went from first phase to second phase, and opening up the second phase. He was one of those. He's been probably my best person I've ever had do a great second phase, and applied it and how to transition that going into the last phase. So his second phase, man, it was the best I've ever seen of any of my athletes, and some others out there. And he knew how to transition off that first to the second. We had to work a little bit more on that second to last, but he was able to add those things in. And he really worked hard on those things and understood the execution and where he was, and that's one thing we had to try to think is like, understand where you are throughout, when you're in the air, when you're on the ground, and make that your goals to where you want to be at in the pit. And he was great at visualization, which we added into our regimen. So triple jump, that was amazing. I got a 100-meter runner. He was 10-3. When I got him out, I coached him for that 1 year, Kareem Fair, and getting him to buy, because I know some other coaches couldn't get into his mind. His mind was all over the place. But I was like, listen, hey, I'm going to add this discipline in, and this is what, if you want to be successful, this is what it has to be successful, and putting your body in these positions. And I think really putting that stuff in and how he needs to be in the weight room, and understanding why you're doing what you're doing in the weight room and how to apply it to the track side. And getting him to understand we're not listening for, we're not trying to react to anybody else. Our object is to concentrate on everything. So I put in the things. So if I'm having to, wherever I am, whether I'm walking, talking, or anything, listen, understand whoever the person is who's saying sit, that's where the gun is coming from. So your object needs to be focused. Your ears need to be focused toward the sit. I'm focused. So anything that comes from that area and that direction, I'm responding to that and that alone. And it made perfect for how his reaction was that much better, because he's more in tune to phase out or black out everything else but where the starter was, and listening to those cadence and reacting to those things. And we had some other drills that we add into how we think, and that towards the end is when we kind of changed up his start to put him in position to really execute. And I just hated that regional. I mean, he had such a great start. He didn't know what to do with it, and he literally almost fell, but he still ran. He came in fourth in his heat, but he came back from almost falling down and being in last place to running a 10-3, 10-3-2, and just missed out by 0.1 or 1/100th of a second from qualifying for the next round. I think if he would have got that right, then, or shoot, even if he wouldn't have lost his balance, it would have been 10-0 something that day. So. And I got a quarter miler, but I ain't worry about that right
now. Well, I'll go next. I mean, I got two. As a women's 4x1 and a 100-meter sprinter, Ivers Alberg. Both of them occurred while I was at ETSU. I was there for 3 years, and Ivers came in as he run 10:59 one time, like 2 years before he got there, and he's running like 10:9 to 11 flat before he got there. And by the third year, he was running around, he was running 10:2 to 10:3. We worked on a lot of, I mean, he had the right mentality. I mean, he was very disciplined. He didn't respond to what anybody else did. He stayed in his lane. We talked about that a lot, just staying in your lane, not trying to necessarily win the race, just letting the finish line come to him. but we did a lot of ladders and just working on rhythm, getting his stride length a little bit more open. You know, I can say I got it right, but I got it wrong in a lot of ways too, which is kind of frustrating when I think back. I think he ran 6.68 at conference, and I let up for that conference meet, which was just stupid on my part. He hadn't lost conference. You know, he was the number one guy in the conference over 3 years. So I don't even know why I let up. It was just dumb. When the gun went off, he was literally by himself 5 meters into the race, and you know, just running naked by itself. Basically ran 6.68. I should have waited about a week to do that, but outdoor he ends up running 10.28 loaded at conference. We didn't let up. We just trained straight through. Hit a huge PR, and based on what he was running in practice, you know, I feel like he was ready to do something special, and this is the craziest thing in the world. He caught chicken pox, and they would not clear him to run the regional meet. Going into the regional meet, I think he was ranked like 8th or 9th or something like that, and they didn't clear him. I felt like he would have been anywhere between 9.9 high to 10.0 something, which back then was moving. I mean, that was pretty good, but you know, like I said, between letting up too early that indoor season and honestly not working on we didn't work on a lot of max velocity. It was more acceleration than going straight to short speed endurance, that 120 to 150 range. And I kind of skipped 60 to 120 rep ranges with him, where we could have addressed a lot of max velocity stuff. So he looked kind of lost after 60 meters, to be completely honest. But at that time in my career, I didn't know what I was seeing. You know, I knew we got the acceleration portion of it right. I just didn't understand what I was seeing at max velocity. But like I said, I feel like he would have been able to run, you know, based on the percentage improvement we got from those sprints that year when we let up, he would have been anywhere between 9.9 high to 10.0 low. Very comfortably 10.0 at least. But, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, it's more frustrating than anything to think about it, but that's the fastest guy I've ever coached. And on the women's side, the 4x1, we came in, we've been running 45.7 all year, which was frustrating. And then we got to conference and we were ready to go, and they messed the handoff up really bad. Went 45.1, 45.2. Barely got the last spot into the regional meet. I think University of Tennessee pulled their team out, and we slid in, and I'm like, okay, you know, we got lane 8, let's rock. And they go out there and, you know, they get it right. We ran 44.6 and ended up, we made it to the Nationals. I think we were like 10th. We went in ranked 10th, and got to Nationals, had lane 8 again, and ran 44.8, and we ended up being ranked 15th nationally. Not a lot I can say wrong about that 4x1. I got a couple ideas why they didn't run the time they should have did during the regular season, but when it was time to go to regionals, the training we did was, you know, it was all max velocity, handoffs and flies and, you know, 120s, things of that nature with full recovery, and they look completely different when we started running that relay. I mean, everybody looked so comfortable from 60 to the handoff. And we just, you know, I told him, I said, hey, we're not doing any safe handoffs. You know, that whole year, I don't play safe handoffs. You know, we weren't talented enough to do safe handoffs. So I was like, either it's going to be fast or it's going to be a disaster. And funny story about that was when we got the regionals, obviously everybody's speed, it kind of, you know, they were resting in kind of another place. So the handoffs that were working in practice for my first and second leg were no longer working. my second leg couldn't catch my first leg couldn't catch my second leg. So we were practicing before they went back into the tent, and they didn't get one handoff in. I mean, it was just they couldn't get it. So I kept edging them in, trying to put the steps closer, and couldn't catch her. So, you know, my first leg's literally crying going to the tent, and I'm like, hey, it's gonna be all right. When adrenaline kicks in, you'll catch her. I walk over to my second leg and say, hey, bring those steps 3 more. I said, bring those marks 3 feet in. And so I think we went from like 21 to 24 to 18 to 21. And I went back into the stands. I told our assistant, I said, either this is going to be a train wreck or it's going to be fast. I don't know which one. We finna find out, though. And it worked. I mean, it hit, and they ran a fast time and went to nationals. But, you know, that was a nail biter. And, you know, I mean, I just wanted to get somebody to the nationals. I felt like we were past to do that trip. And they stepped up and performed when it counted. So shout out to those girls. And those are my two.
All right. I got one young man named Gatlin Lawson, who's now at the University of South Carolina. Wasn't my fastest sprinter, but I just, from the progression when I got him after his freshman year, I just felt like we got a lot of things right. As a freshman in 2016, he had PRs of, he went 10.79 once. For the majority of the season, he was a 10.9, 11 flat guy. And he went 22.72 as a freshman. I started working with him right after his sophomore year of football, and which was 2017. And in 2017, he ran indoors. He went 6.54 in the 55 and 7.07 in the 60. The following year in 2018, he went 6.31 and 6.79 in the 60. In 2017 in the 100, he went 10.66 and went 21.65 in the 200. And then the following year, his junior year, he went from 10.66 to 10.51 and 10.65 to 10.56. He ended up going to nationals indoors that junior year and PR'd. Didn't make the final. He also made the NASF team that goes to the Bahamas. They use fluctuate between Bahamas and Cuba. And I mean, he just for one, he latched on to the training. And you know, I always wear the shirt. He like embodied the trust the process mantra. One thing that I believe that helped him was he wasn't big on plyos his freshman year. And so when I got with him, I'm big on plyos and I'm huge on bounding for my sprinters. And I just believe for an inexperienced sprinter to learn how to bound, it teaches you how to apply force. Mm-hmm. And him learning how to apply force helped him tremendously in his max velocity phase. And also what had happened was from his sophomore to junior year, I started making him run fours in practice. And so he went from I stole a workout from University of Houston. I think it's a 4-3. I think they do like 4-3-2. Full recovery and everything like that. And before we went to the Bahamas, he's never run a 400 track meet ever. He went 50 points, came back, went 36 in the 3, and went 23 in the 2. And I was like, yo, he's ready. I knew he was gonna go 10-3 when we got to the Bahamas. Got to the Bahamas, he pulls his hamstring. Pulls his hamstring, and I mean, but that was just a kid that got it right, and so that was a big one. I can say I got it right with Elijah Robinson, who's at Oklahoma right now, but I think he only ran 1 year.
Smooth, man.
Look,
he was smooth.
Every year I had Elijah something happened. His freshman year, he was just this big doofy kid with feet the size of kayaks. So, look, this first year, I put him in the hurdles. He was long and he had decent speed. So I said, you know what? Let's try you over here. Because he just wasn't fast enough to sprint, but he wasn't slow. But he just wasn't fast enough to make the 4x1 or 4x4 and anything like that. His sophomore year, he pulls his hamstring early. And he's our starting quarterback. And so, you know, as soon as he has any kind of ding, he gets pulled. Done for the year. Now, this is legit first week. First week, it might have been February. So he's done for the year, sophomore year. Junior year, he feels a little tweak. This is right before like our first track meet. He goes and does some football drills. Ends up tweaks his hip and hamstring. Pulled again. Now, during testing his junior year, I said, look, we were two-way still. I said, look, you will win the state meet in the 200. The season before that, I had the state champion in the 200. And I'm like, look, you're dogging him. And he's the fastest kid returning in the 200. Said, you will win the state championship. He gets pulled. So his senior year is the first and only year that I really had a full season with him. Not even full season because he played football. But I got him right after football season. Luckily for us, we don't go too far in the playoff. So I got him pretty early. All right. And so, hey, look, I love football, but look, I love track. I need to get my kids out here early. Basketball kills me because they make it to the state championship every year. So I'm getting them. Yeah. But look, in Smiley was a steady progression. Smiley started off the season running low 11s, 22 low, and we just kept chugging away. One thing with him was I ran him in fours early in the season. He wouldn't really run them. Smiley would never run faster than 52. Coach Langford, if you are watching this, look, you put him in the 400, he will make sure he runs 52 seconds. I don't know what it is. Look, he refuses to go fast. That's his comfort zone. But I just continuously made him do it. Made him run the fours. And about mid-season, when our macro cycle started to shift a little bit, started to see the times go down at Taco Bell. Now he's running 10 high, 21 high. We get to the qualifier, and now he has shown some things in practice that showed he was ready to run fast. He goes out there and runs 10.6, 21.6. And I mean, and it's by two buses. It's not even close. And so we did a race model with the 200 the week of the state meet, and he covered the first 80 in like 8.6. I said, Smiley, you're going to PR. I said, now the question is, how close are we going to get to the state record? He got to the state meet with 10.46, 21.14. State record is 21.11. Just missed it. But that's a kid where I feel like I missed, because if I could have got these other seasons, and it's no telling what Smiley would have been able to do his senior year, because he was green. He didn't know anything. So I can't wait to see him light up the Big 12, because I know Langford going to turn him into a monster. So I can't wait. So those are two that with Gatlin we ran into some injury issues, so his senior year definitely didn't go as planned like he wanted. We literally battled that hamstring issue, going back and forth to doctors and everything like that the whole year. So glad Carolina has him. He's in definitely better hands in terms of rehab and things of that nature. And Smiley's so green, man. It's really sky's the limit for him. I was just fortunate to be blessed with the opportunity to have these freakish studs come through my stable, man. So those are the two that I got right.
I think it's a lot to be said. You get kids like that, and you accomplish a lot with them, but you're always looking at what should have been, or what could have been. And I think that says a lot about about a coach is always looking at not necessarily who you pass, but who's in front of you. And sometimes it's records, sometimes it's other people, sometimes it's other teams, But I think that's always a safe place to work from, because you're gonna stay motivated. Before we go, message. Anybody got any messages for anybody?
Tyree got one.
Nah, I really don't. The only message is keep evolving in the sport. Nothing is gone by the same science that has been in the past. Sometimes you can make your own nuances and theories, which come practices, which become ingrained into the new laws or new sciences of today. So if you have a theory and the applications make sense, don't be afraid to apply those things and don't conform to what someone else is always doing towards your methodology of training.
I'll go. I'm gonna give a shout out. I want to give a special shout out to Marissa Chu. I want to more so a shout out. Say thank you. thank you for putting this coaches collab together on Facebook. You've allowed coaches like myself to learn from so many great collegiate and professional coaches that without the work that you did to put this together, I probably would not have had that opportunity. To be on a Zoom call the other night with Brooks Johnson, like that's a man that my father talks about a lot. And to be in a situation to where I can learn from somebody like him. My favorite team is, as you can tell, my favorite team is Florida Gators. Anytime Mike Holloway does an interview, I watch it. Not just the team, but it can be any interview after a track meet. I'm watching it because that's a coach that I really respect and I try to emulate my program after. To be able to be on a Zoom call with this man and to learn from him, Marissa, without you having the mind to put that together, that would not have been possible. So from the bottom of my heart, and I know from every coach that is a part of that coaches collab, thank you for putting that together and working so hard and keeping that going. Please continue. And yeah, man, look, I appreciate you. Marissa True.
Yeah,
I know we're doing shout outs.
Well, shout out to Marissa. I got her interview on my podcast. Y'all go check that out.
Definitely.
I guess mine would be, I'm gonna give one to my mom. Two, my mom and my wife. I mean, they both been very supportive of me during this time. To, you know, they both stay on me. They are probably my toughest critics. When I was doing the podcast, they would both tell me more of the bad than the good. So, you know, they don't mind hurting my feelings, but I need that. So, you know, I appreciate them. You know, if anybody's got a good wife, you find a good woman, you find a good thing, man. And I know I got my wife, my mom. So, you know, shout out to them for always being supportive and not necessarily telling me what I want to hear, but telling me what I need to hear. And last, to my athletes that have, you know, stayed tough during this pandemic and you know, they've been training on their own, doing what they got to do to stay in shape for the season because they just want it. They motivate me to, you know, not be lazy during this time period, but try to learn and get better. Like I said, the coach collab group, the Zoom calls, you know, just everything in life period. I'm stock market, trying to get into the stock market and learn more about that. And, you know, just trying to become better doing this all time. They've been a motivation for me. So, like I said, it's been a great period of time off. But I'm ready to get back to work. But while I've been off, my mom, my wife, both been very big motivating factors, as well as my team. So shout out to them. And that's pretty much it.
Well, let me go ahead and give my shout out then.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna say 4 individuals here. Coach Fry, University of South Carolina. Coach Holloway from University of Florida. Chris Huffins and Brandon. Want to shout all y'all out because y'all are people that I can talk to, you know, and bounce stuff off of. And I know Coach Fry has been a mentor for me for a while, and he gives me advice and different things to look at on and off the track. Coach Holloway, I went down there in the fall, last fall, and spent a whole day with them, watch how they conducted their program, converse with them. And, you know, sometimes some people can be misconceived of how their interactions are, but watching what he does and how he does things in his program, gain a lot of insight. So he's one of those great mentors for me. Chris Huffins came to practice here in Bethune, watch what we did, gave me a little bit of praise here and there, and I want to thank him for giving me, you know, that little more, something else to push me to be even better than what I am. And Brandon, you know, our conversation, you know, we don't always agree. And that's not what everything is, to agree on everything. But you challenge me, and I hope that I challenge you in some things that we go out, and for you to have this opportunity to bring us all onto this and share knowledge, share experiences. This is a great thing. And I thank y'all all.
Man, I appreciate it. Same to you. Obviously, me and you talk a lot, so I appreciate everything you do, man, and what you taught me. So, man, fellas, I appreciate y'all coming on. Until the next time, y'all enjoy this time off.
Y'all have a good one.